Let's go.
You don't know how bad I want to drink this beer.
Let's go. Is my mic
Watch
muted?
out.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay.
Why wouldn't
my volume is really low then.
Oh, okay.
This is the DNVR postgame show for Colorado at Texas Tech.
Click them. There you go.
Presented by Game Time. Download the Game Time app. Use promo code BUFFS Buffs for $20 off your first purchase. Holy cow, boys! The Buffs are 7-2. They control their own destiny in the Big 12, and what?
Go ahead. Finish what you're saying.
On the path to the college football playoff after beating Texas Tech 41-27. Shout out to Kansas for beating Iowa State today to make it all possible, though. Man, what a dub.
What a day. What a stretch of 2 weeks. 2 weeks ago, the Buffs needed some help to get into the Big 12 championship game. And, I mean, when we talk about help, it was several things needed to occur. It wasn't going to be easy. All of those things happened, not even 2 weeks. All of those things happened in the stretch of the last 7 days. Everything they needed to be in the right position to go to the Big 12 championship have all happened. And you kind of touched on this, Jake, but they don't only control their own destiny in the Big 12. They control their own destiny to the national championship. If they win every game from here on out, they will be national champions.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So, there's a lot that has happened between now and then, but when we talk about controlling your own destiny, they have the ultimate control of their destiny from here on out. Every time they win a game, especially as we get further down the season, they're going to unlock another game.
I love it, man.
I love it. You love it.
Yeah.
You love it. I love it. That's 3. I loves it. And I got to go.
Scotty, do you love it?
I love it.
That's
RC,
4.
do you love it?
Yes, sir.
RG, do you love it?
He's indifferent.
Alyssa, do you love it?
Yeah, baby.
Let's go.
Kenny Highways, he's focused,
Kenny
but he
Highways
loves it. I got to go backwards before I go forward. There you go. That's my DJ. You can rewind that record. Do you guys remember Postgame Nebraska?
I'd like to not, but yes, I do.
It's very important that we remember it.
Yep.
I would encourage everybody after this show, go back and watch that show.
Thank you.
And find your comments. Find your comments. Read what you typed during that post-game show. And fast forward who was right, you or us. Because we told everybody, there you go, we told everybody the goals of this team were still in front of them. Get 6 wins, get Miss Peggy to a bowl game. Add wins after that to get to the Big 12 championship. And you're exactly right, RK. There are other things that had to happen that you can't control. But the biggest thing that we control is our effort in winning games. And we did our part. And we're sitting there alone at number 2 right now.
Yep. And who knows what could happen by the end of this night, because Utah just broke off a huge kick return. Not to the house. But
just, I think it's time for the lovers, because I'm tired of addressing the haters because they're so minuscule.
UNCLENE.
LY at the pregame show. We're still taking comments and getting your ... reply. But here's the thing that we have to appreciate as fans, supporters, lovers of this program. We got a damn good head coach. We have an outstanding coaching staff. And we have a great team. Anytime a team can play as poorly as we played in the first quarter, maybe somewhat even the second quarter, and still win a game and then win it this convincingly by the end of it, that ain't a fluke. You got a damn good team from top to bottom. Celebrate it, appreciate it, because the wins are going to keep on stacking.
Man.
Remember when I said, I want to say it was Wednesday's show, that there's going to be a moment, at least one, where Colorado's back will be up against the wall. I said, it's not going to be easy to just win out 4 games. That's just not how college football works. I said, it could happen as soon as this weekend. There will be a moment where this team's back is up against the wall, and they got to find a way to get off of it. And that happened today in the first quarter. They did not come out strong. Things were a little wonky. They were on the wrong side of the field position battle, which can really turn a whole game, like we talked about, I think, yesterday. That can turn an entire game is early field position and you just not being able to get any rhythm. All of that happened to them. This was the formula for how Texas Tech beats Colorado. It all unfolded. in the first quarter of the game. The Buffs back were up against the wall, but the defense did something very important, and we talked about this, Unc, when you got on the bus, and they held them to 2 field goals. It could have been 21-0.
Absolutely.
And they made it 13-0, and I looked at RC in the stands, and I said, if they go score here on this next drive, they're absolved of everything that started in the beginning of the game, and they kind of just got away with that rough start.
Yeah.
The team went down and did it, and then went on a 41-14 run.
Yeah.
From then on out. It was kind of a tale of 3 games.
Absolutely. I love that. I was standing on the sideline in earshot of Coach Prime, and when we held them to 2 field goals, I said, they're not winning this game.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you don't maximize against this defense, and shout out to Rob Livingston, shout out to the entire defensive staff, shout out to the defensive players, because you came out, we were shaky on special teams most of the game. Came out and they get a quick score, and those next 2 times that had the opportunity to score when our offense was flat, we literally, they didn't mess up or anything. We held them to field goals.
Yeah.
We literally, killed their drives and held them to field goals. And now they got 6 points instead of 14 points. And what a difference that make, because like you said, okay, all we got to do is score once. Yep. And then we're getting the ball back after halftime. And then here we go with a touchdown field goal, and it's like, none of the bad stuff that happened even mattered anymore.
Yep.
Now you're in control of the game.
Yeah, man, what a game. The resiliency of this team, but also just the confidence in them, man. I think that was another thing. Like, there was, no worry when they went down 13-0.
At all.
Last year, I don't know if you could say the same thing. This team might have fell apart. Things would have compounded a lot quicker, but they were able to shake it off. And Shador was not sharp early on, but he really turned it on after starting, I think the first 3 drives, he was 5 of 10 or something for 30-some yards. And we'll get into Shador's game, but go look at the stat line. I mean, the guy, he made it work when it had to count.
Absolutely.
You have that stat line, and by his standard and our eyeball test of our expectations of him, he had a bad game.
Yeah.
And still produced that stat line.
Only, you guys know I love my Jokic comparisons, but it really feels like Jokic to me, where it's you could feel like Jokic had an off night, and then you look up and he had 30, 12, and 11.
Yeah.
Yep.
And you're like, okay, well.
Yeah, it just didn't look
that's
like
what happens
him.
when you have the best.
Yeah.
But, Shador, I think, would be the first to tell you his ball placement was a little off tonight. I wonder if the wind had a little something to do with it.
I think it did on the downfield effort or lack thereof.
Yeah, and he didn't necessarily trust throwing it deep downfield. He just crushed them and kind of took them apart in the underneath stuff. And huge credit to the wide receivers and the offensive linemen for blocking their asses off on those screens, which was easily the best play for Colorado tonight. It was just a little tunnel, type of speed screens.
Yep.
And Will Shepard was eating on those. They even had a little RPO bubble to LeJounte that ended in a touchdown. And all of that is blocking. I saw Phil Houston absolutely sell out to get a block on one of those screens to Will Shepard. So, where Shador didn't have it necessarily down the field in the way that we're so accustomed to, he was able to just get the ball into the hands of his playmakers, and the playmakers went and made plays.
Yeah, I think 3 sacks, and probably 2 of them were on him. One legit sack. He still is our Superman or version of it, and he looks to make a play. And sometimes he scrambles a little too much, and it's going to lead to a holding call because they can't see behind them, and or a sack on his part.
Yeah.
But this is the same offensive line people wanted in front of a firing squad after the Nebraska game.
Yep.
And look how they have gelled and come together and become this unit where it's still substitutions coming in. It's not just the same group throughout the game or week to week. Shout out to them. You're exactly right. They played their asses off. The intention by Pat Shermer to run the ball tonight was there. The intention to get the running backs involved in the passing game was there. And if you look at just the totality of this game, Mate wasn't Mate tonight.
No, he wasn't. He had a bad game.
Had a bad game.
He did have his best punt of the night.
When they counted.
I
told him, I hugged him when he came off and said, look, that made up for it.
Yeah.
Because damn, they gave him a long field in front of that.
Yeah.
Because we had some mismanagement at the end that gave them opportunities that they shouldn't have had. But it's one of those things where because we were up, it wasn't as bad as they mismanaged when they had opportunities.
Yeah.
Because it was more glaring on their part. But for this team, man, to to get out of there with this win and to have not played up to what we know they can play on offense, defense, or special teams, it just shows you how good this team is, man.
And they just dealt with some adversity again tonight. I mean, Hank Zielinskis has a bad snap. Cash Cleveland comes in fresh off the bench. He plays really well. Jimmy gets hurt, and we'll get into that whole thing, but he gets hurt, and Shador said in the postgame show, they had a lot in this game plan to get Jimmy going tonight. Yes. And he goes out early, and he's just not able to return to the field. No. They have Isaiah Harge going out onto the field for him. But not only that, LeJounte stepped up. Will stepped up. Yeah. I don't even think Travis had his best game, especially on offense. He dropped a couple passes, and he just wasn't really, I guess, getting the opportunities. There were only a few times I think he had one-on-one coverage, truly one-on-one coverage. Yeah. They really shifted to his side of the field. The running game, man. I mean, Isaiah Augustov, he just keeps churning. Yeah. He doesn't care. What if he got -2 yards on the last carry? He runs just as hard every carry after.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So shout out to him, and then this defensive line, bro. We have
I think they were the key to the game.
Dogs.
I think where some of the plays got made behind them, that they were the start of it. Like that D line is lights out, man. Like rabid dogs.
Yeah.
What's crazy is it's going to look like Taj Brooks kind of went off.
Oh, they held him in check for 90% of that game.
Yeah. In the stretch of the game where Colorado won 41-14, Taj Brooks did nothing.
Yep.
Yeah. He was well under 100 yards.
Yeah. Or I shouldn't even say 41-14 because what they scored that includes some of them scoring at the end.
Well, let's go. Utah's up on BYU right now.
So what was the stretch in the middle of the game before they scored that late touchdown?
Here, hold on. I'll tell you what, at the end of the third quarter, what Taj Brooks' stats were. But there was a drive in the fourth quarter where I think CU was up 34-20, and then Texas Tech went on a drive to make it 34-27. And he had a few big runs, and that really, that got him to the 131 or whatever he finished with. Let me find this here. End of the third quarter. Taj Brooks had 58 yards on 23 attempts.
Yeah. So when the game was won by Colorado, they absolutely shut down Taj Brooks, and that was
we talked
massive.
On the pregame show. We keep him above, although it ended with him getting more than 100 yards. If we keep him functionally below 100, there's no way they can win this game. Yeah. And he wasn't even at 60.
I felt like they were kind of trying to pad his stats late.
Oh, they did.
Yeah, they wanted to break the record.
Break the record, but why would you want to do that when everyone had left the stadium?
Yeah, they definitely wanted to break the record.
That was weird to me.
There was a lot of weird shit tonight.
There was a lot of weird shit, and that's what I meant about the 3 games. So the first game is 13-0 Texas Tech. Uh-huh. And Colorado had a 3rd and 1 that they didn't convert because they went RPO and they got covered, and Shador ended up getting sacked.
Right.
It was just weird, one of those weird starts for them where they start slow. Then there's the middle of the game where Colorado just screens them to death. Playmakers making plays. It was clear they had the better athletes. Mm-hmm. And then there's this weird third game that happened in the fourth quarter where it's Colorado's trying to pad stats, Texas Tech is trying to pad stats, and all of a sudden you blink and it's no way is this a football game right now. No way is there going to be a consequential onside kick at the end of the game. So here's what I'll say. I'm all in on running up the score, and I'm all in on going ahead and going after stats if it works. And every time we've tried to do it, it doesn't work. And I feel like it's the football gods' way of saying no, you got to do this the right way.
True. Yeah, I think. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Well, I was just gonna say I had all total faith in the defense the entire game, though, especially after the first quarter.
But they were by the end of it, they were a little worn out.
They were, but then they, can't. Or BJ Green has a strip sack that Cam recovers.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to agree with they were worn out. I think they were worn out by the simple fact it was fourth quarter in college football. I don't think they were worn out in the sense that they couldn't hold them and perform like they had been performing. I am totally with you that we could have gotten out there cleaner without going for some of the things we went through. That 2 minutes and 45 seconds to 2 minutes and 3 seconds was probably some of the worst management of a clock you can do with a lead.
That's pretty bad.
Yeah.
And it was only it took forever for that 40 seconds to go, but it gave them life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what you said earlier was key, because there was a talent deficiency between them and us. that when they had an opportunity, they not only couldn't do anything with it talent-wise, they made some horrible calls.
Yeah. Well, and the defense absolutely bailed us out. It's Nakai Hill-Green with a pick that, helps
Crazy
take some
pick,
time.
by the way.
I didn't even see it. I can't wait to
It was
see
so
the
fast,
highlights.
man.
He went up with both hands to block the ball,
Yes.
and it just perfectly
Stuck.
landed in between
Yes.
his hands.
It was split second.
This is what happened to me. I see the quarterback pull the ball, so then I immediately look to the receiver, and I see DJ reach to swipe it, and then I don't see anything happen, and I'm like, what? And then the people behind me are just going crazy, and I look down, and Nakai's running the other way.
Yeah.
So anyways, he had that, then the strip sack, and then, of
Which
course, the strip sack from that Cam recovered.
BJ Green got that. Yep.
And then finally,
Arden Walker,
strip sack. Shiloh Sanders, like I called on the pregame show, with the touchdown. What?
He's a sleeper.
Still called it. I said he hasn't had a big play.
I'm not going to sit here if I can't fuck with you.
Said he's going to have a big play.
We fuck with Jake.
He had a scoop and score. Anyways, that was the most important.
I knew you were with that.
That was the most important of all of them, just to really tie a bow on it.
Well,
and there goes BYU to the crib.
Please tackle. Jesus.
No, kicker.
The best defensive play of the night didn't count. It was Travis jumping 80 feet in the air.
He flew.
What was it, an offsides or something?
Yeah, and as great as that jumping catch was, the quarterback knew it was a free play.
Of course.
Yeah,
But
so the quarterback didn't even try.
This guy might jump 48 inches at the combine in March.
Yeah, that was
46.
asinine.
Yeah, ridiculous.
Yeah,
All right,
he went up and got that.
Let's take our first break, and then we'll keep on riffing on the game.
Keep on riffing.
Shout out to the homies at Game Time. 10 a.m. Saturday. A week from today.
Yeah.
Big noon kickoff.
Yeah.
And probably going to be sold out. So if you want to get into Folsom Field to watch the Buffs continue on their path towards the Big 12 title game and college football playoff, you got to go to Game Time.
You better.
Download the app. Use the promo code BUFFS, BUFFS, to get $20 off your first purchase. NFL, CFB, NBA, NHL. I'm going to a Nuggets game tomorrow night.
Man.
Use Game Time to get the tickets. Terms apply again. Create an account. Redeem code BUFFS, BUFFS for $20 off. Download Game Time today. What time is it?
Game time.
Also, shout out to Red Hawk Roofing.
Yeah.
The Buffs have no ceiling.
Ooh.
But if you have a house, you need a ceiling. And
a roof.
Above that ceiling, you need a roof. And our friends over at Red Hawk Roofing can do that for you. And they'll do it with that local flavor, that local touch that I personally love. I love working with local businesses and supporting local businesses, especially because they're the same businesses that support us and support our teams. These are big-time Denver sports fans over at Red Hawk Roofing. We got a lot of love for them. They've been supporting us for a while now. So if you have any hail damage from the summer or anything like that, and you want to make sure that your roof is all set, make sure you hit up our friends over at Red Hawk Roofing. Call them at 720-771-8921 or go to redhawkroofing.com and tell them DNVR sent you.
I'm calling them right now. I love Red Hawk Roofing, and if there was ever a time that I needed a roof, it would be from these damn tortillas. Let me tell you something.
Oh, let's get into it.
This is absolutely the worst shit in college football.
How is it allowed?
I do not know how it's allowed for them to bring them in. I do not know how the Big 12 or the NCAA. The NCAA took cowbells away from Mississippi State years ago, and now they can only be rung at a certain time. There's no way that these damn tortillas can be allowed to continue at this level that it is.
Which, you don't have to tell us in a couple days, but on Twitter, the theory is that Jimmy slipped on a tortilla, and that's what bummed his ankle.
I cannot confirm or deny it, but it is damn plausible because everybody was slipping on tortillas.
It's ridiculous, dude.
This is actually insane. First of all, I can't be mad at the fans. They're really good at it, and it looks cool. That being said, how in the world can a guy be trying to field a ball on a kickoff with just tortillas raining down on him?
And Shador mentioned it in the postgame press conference. He's like, Texas Tech got flags thrown at them because their fans were throwing shit on the field. But because
You're talking about Georgia or Texas?
Yeah. Texas was throwing. I told you my volume was messed up. And then you can just, because they're tortillas instead of drinks, you can just literally throw them at players
in the field, during a play. That's
while he's fielding a live ball. Crazy.
Yeah. That part is crazy to me. And
90. You're right now. That is crazy.
Yeah.
99% of them don't reach the field.
Right.
They reach the bench for sure.
Oh, yeah.
So if you saw 300 out there on the field, there was 3,000 on the sideline. And there's nothing you can do about it. Then they got to where they would ball them up to get more velocity.
Yeah, of course.
You know, it still doesn't hurt you anything when it hits you, but from a sideline security, from a footing standpoint, here's what I'm going to give you guys, because I love college ball. I love tradition. Opening kickoff, all right, go for it.
Yeah, for sure.
After that, stop.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got
Every damn kick, and then just sporadically when somebody wanted to do it, you know, it's just raining tortillas all night.
And because they're a disc-shaped object, those things can fly, man.
They were cutting the middle out of them to get extra.
Yeah, I saw.
Oh, yeah, they've got strategy. Yeah, they were doing all sorts of stuff. I will say, you know, this is the Texas Tech version of getting the last laugh. I threw the last tortilla. Bro, I flung this thing, and it had kind of dried out a little bit, just turned into a Frisbee. Thing was sailing. Our RC has a video of it. You can kind of see, like, just the tail end of it as it just curves. It was fun, so I threw the last tortilla.
Next thing of weird stuff that just happened tonight. Crowd noise apparently being in music louder than usual in this stadium, from what you said.
Yeah, it was cranked up. And I you know, like the bass, I'm jealous of their sound system. That thing was bumping.
The bass was like, I had to like, huh? To Scott in the press box. He's sitting right next to me when that bass is going.
Here's the thing, though. They do the fourth quarter swag surfing. That went crazy. And then they go straight into Mo Bamba. That went crazy.
Yeah.
Here's the problem. They were on offense.
Yeah.
So the whole stadium's, you know, revved up. Our defense is out there just losing their minds, getting
it was helping us.
up.
And I would say from a volume standpoint of disruption or trying to distract the visiting team, it didn't. Like Nebraska was loud.
Yeah.
Hats off to them. It was loud to where you had to say to a coach, huh? It was loud to a point when you watch videos, you can't hear what's actually being said. They had some artificial noise with their speakers and their crowd was into it, but it really wasn't disruptive. But that tortilla shit, like somebody has to step in, like, all right, y'all.
Yes.
Yeah. Or every team in college football should adopt a tradition of throwing shit at the opposing players.
Or just like, don't throw shit on the field. Like a very common solution. Like,
yeah, that ain't ever happening. If you're gonna give people things that they can throw, they're throwing them on the field.
Well, they're not supposed to bring tortillas in. They sneak them in every week.
They
let me
absolutely
tell you
allow. They're not sneaking anything.
Yeah.
You don't get 20,000 tortillas into a stadium. Probably even more than that.
That's just crazy.
I hate
though.
to mix in a conspiracy theory, but that's like saying they're sneaking drugs in the country.
Yeah,
no, they're letting drugs in the country.
It's like saying they're sneaking weed into a Grateful Dead concert.
Yes, no, you did. You brought it.
They're just letting them bring that in.
Because like you said, man, this wasn't a pack of 50.
Yeah, no. If you think about it, bro, I think like everyone had 10.
Yeah, at least.
So there's like 500,000 tortillas that came into that stadium.
It's got to stop, man.
Yeah.
I hate saying this because I'm like so pro fan and I so am just on the side of cool things like this.
Yeah.
But that was out of control. Maybe it was just extra because it was a sold out stadium. It was, you know, the Buffs.
And it was us, yeah.
They, you know,
and that's why I'm going to give you kickoff.
They think we're communist and all this shit.
I'm going to give you kickoff. Like, do you want to do it to open the game? Go ahead. It's it's like the Nebraska and the balloons or something.
Yeah.
You know, if you want to kill sea turtles, go right ahead. But you don't do it like all damn night. You know.
Next weird thing.
Such a waste too, by the way. People are starving.
Oh my god.
Yeah, for real. And I don't want to spend too much on this because I hate talking about them. But the refs, OPI just didn't exist tonight.
No.
That was
holding
insane.
On wide receivers.
I mean, they were literally setting picks.
Yeah.
More than 2 yards down the field.
Yeah.
Through the whole first quarter, and they were getting big plays off of them.
Yeah.
And the refs did nothing. The refs had no control over this game.
Rules that were enforced today. Quarterback has to be in uniform at a certain time before the game.
Yeah, what was that?
Rules that were not enforced today. Fans aren't allowed to throw shit on the field, and
rules of the game.
You can't block a defender from trying to defend their man.
Yeah.
What the fuck is going on? Other things that were enforced. Taunting.
And then
let me ask y'all this about taunting. Because I love antics and shenanigans. How is this taunting, but this, like you're too little, not?
It's all the rule is all if you are looking at the person.
Okay, so in this example, when the bigger guy caught the touchdown over Cameron, Silman Craig, he was looking at him and said, "You're too little."
Look, these refs were questionable
at best.
There was it all started with the Shador warm-up.
And I'll tell you this.
Oh, you knew from that
being
moment.
down there, of earshot of a lot of it, they came across as a crew that this was their first time working together. They didn't have a lot of chemistry amongst themselves. Like their crew communication. You saw that's why you saw them huddling up so much. It's like they didn't know each other.
Yeah.
And I think this was too big of a game to have a crew that hadn't worked together.
In the third quarter,
that was the case.
They lost control of the game. Coach is like arguing with the refs during a TV timeout, and then there's a sequence where Texas Tech goes for it on 4th down, and Keaton Wade gets a sack, and then someone's called for like targeting, and they like review the play, and I guess I don't even know what they did.
And they bungled the clock while that was going on.
And then all of a sudden, Colorado has the ball on 1st down.
Oh yeah,
I had no idea what happened.
Yeah, so they sacked him on 4th down.
Yep.
They called targeting on the sack.
And reviewed it.
They reviewed it, and then they came back and said there was no targeting on the play.
Okay.
So that gave us the ball.
It was extremely confusing. I had no idea what happened.
But they were letting the clock run when a lot of that was happening.
Yeah, bro. The clock, that's not the refs, though. That's usually someone who works for the university, and that person had a horrific 4th quarter.
Yeah. And as much as I agree with you, during the game, they are an official.
Well, yeah, you're right.
They are an official. They're under the auspices of the referee and the official.
But you always hear about, home cooking with the clock.
And that's why the ref's supposed to catch, hey, reset the clock to this.
Yeah.
But it happened a lot in the 4th.
It was
like, oh, add this back on, take that back off, oh, do this. Like, come on, y'all.
Yeah.
Like, what are y'all doing?
And then at also some point in the 3rd quarter, Joey McGuire goes on the stadium PA system to ask the students to stop throwing stuff on the field.
I didn't expect his voice to sound like that when he was yelling.
I thought he was going to say shit.
Yeah.
Because he said, stop
throwing stuff on the field.
Well, Coach Prime told him when they shook hands, he apologized about it. He apologized about the fans and throwing stuff, and Coach said, hey, man, I had to tell my student section the same thing last week,
Yeah.
True.
Enough is enough.
True.
Also, we've talked about, upgrading the game day atmosphere at Folsom.
Mm-hmm.
It's time to put the student section behind the opposing bench.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Why aren't we doing that?
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, let's take our next break here.
We're taking the next
We got a lot to get to. Scotty's going to come on and talk about the press conferences here in a bit. We're going to have the BJ Green celebration for Defensive Player of the Game. We got Receipt Street, helmet stickers, a lot more. Shout out to the homies at Elevations Credit Union. Go to a credit union. Don't go to a bank. They're going to actually treat you like a person, not a number. They're going to take care of you, take care of your money. And that's why we love our friends over at Elevations Credit Union, the official credit union of the University of Colorado. And they're launching their exclusive Go Buffs Visa Signature Rewards Card, emblazoned with the iconic CU Ralphie logo. Go Buffs with the Go Buffs Visa Signature Rewards Card, the only official credit card of CU Athletics, only at Elevations Credit Union. Visit buffscreditcard.com to apply and see full card benefits and details.
I would just like to point out that Utah agrees with me that Isaac Wilson sucks. Anyways, shout out Sleeper. You got one.
Sleeper, I got a couple.
You got a couple. Tell us about it.
Well, first off, I tried to take advantage of the system because they had Michael Welsh listed for anytime touchdown, and I was like, well, he ain't playing. So I took the under a bunch, and they avoided it. But I hit on Shador Sanders over 2.5 passing touchdowns, Baron Morton over 0.5 interceptions, and Travis Hunter over 104.
More than?
Yeah, yes, more than. Receiving yards. What else did I hit? I hit a bunch of them that had Michael Welsh in it. So there's only 2 picks in the 3-pick combo. And then I hit LeJohntay over 5.5 receptions.
You hit LeJohntay what? More than?
More than 5.5 receptions. Baron Morton interception. So I had a great day on Sleeper. Shout out to Sleeper.
You can have a great day on Sleeper too if you go download the Sleeper app and use code BUFFS to get up to a $100 match on your first deposit. Terms and conditions apply. See Sleeper's terms of use for details. Currently operational in over 25 states. Find out if they're operational in yours and check out Sleeper today.
And as we make our way down the highway, directed by no other than Kenny Highways, Sleeper is on the side of this bus.
Sure is.
Shout out to Sleeper.
Yep.
Sure is. Shout out to everyone who came and saw the bus today. It was a little bit of an adventure getting into our parking spot, but we made it happen. We saw the people. We got to hang out with some great folks.
Yeah, it was a good time.
And the cool thing about it, if you come see us at these, it's like a much more low-key, more intimate setting where we actually get to hang out with people. Who
Did you lower the lighting?
Yeah.
The intimate setting?
I did.
Put on some mood music?
Yeah.
You got to do that, man. Got to give the people what they want.
Like Shador with the sax after the game. Did you see what I tweeted? I said Shador one-upped me conducting the band and just joined the band.
Yeah.
He really did. What do we want to do? Helmet stickers, Receipt Street, bring Scotty on.
Let's go helmet stickers / Receipt Street.
All right. I want to start. Helmet sticker to Cash Cleveland.
That's a good one, man.
Because
that's a good one.
I hate putting blame on players and obviously when they do stuff that is not great because everyone knows they messed up. But we've had some issues at center, some snap issues. And again, early in the game, Shador was not ready for a snap that hit him right in the chest, and it was a fumble on the ground. Cash Cleveland comes in, though, a walk-on true freshman, and stabilizes this offense. He's out there pointing around, making calls all the time. Shador called him a little general in the post-game press conference. Everyone seems to love that guy, though, and he's going out there and performing at a Power 4 level right off the bat.
And doing it undersized.
Yeah.
Undersized. He's a freshman.
No, I mean, not classification. He's small. The defensive line is bigger than him.
Yep.
Whenever he's in the game, the guy across from him is bigger than him. And he's still doing everything you just said.
I mean, what a gem that this coaching staff and this recruiting staff found, alongside Jordan Seaton. That IMG was Cash Cleveland, who, like you kind of pointed out, Unc, and I don't mean any disrespect to him at all when I say this, but he doesn't necessarily look the part.
No, he's a small guy.
Yeah, if you were just, running the eye test, you probably wouldn't think that he could go out there and play at this level.
Absolutely.
Immediately, But it's a combination of football IQ, attention to detail, and attention to technique and leverage that he's done a great job with in his opportunities. And he might just have himself a starting job for the rest of the season after the way he performed
and underscore something you just said about the opportunities. You talk about a guy being ready for his opportunity. Hey, we're going under something, man. What if we scrub the top?
Well, then we'll lose the satellite.
We're in a tunnel.
What are we doing?
We're out of it now. We went under some kind of bridge or something.
Did Starlink survive that?
So when you look at a guy being ready for his number to be called, here's a guy 3 weeks ago who wasn't really running with the ones at practice.
Yeah, I think he
gets in a game and he knows the calls.
Yep. I think he said, or someone said after that game, that when he went into the game, it was the first rep he had ever had with the ones.
Yeah.
Yep.
But you couldn't tell it. That's the guy who's been in the film room, a guy who does his homework, a guy who's just sitting waiting on his opportunity. And never used the excuse of, well, Coach, I haven't been in yet. He was ready.
Yep.
Also, shout out to Cash's family who was sitting by RC and I, and they were bringing the energy all night.
Did you show them belt to ass?
Well, no, I was waiting for us to get up 3 scores. We never got there.
Helmet stickers.
I'm going to go with the defense. Rob Livingston, his staff, and the entire defense, man. And not only for the game, but their first quarter, because those 2 field goals, holding them to those 2 field goals, made a huge mathematical difference in how we could call that game going forward.
Yeah, absolutely. I will jump in here and give a helmet sticker to William F. Shepard, as I was calling him after he made that sick one-handed catch. That was Scotty's offensive player of the game.
Give Scotty a mic.
He absolutely nailed it. I don't think Alyssa heard you there.
Alyssa,
what?
Give Scotty the mic.
She answered like you answer.
What?
With hook hands.
I wasn't paying attention.
Anyways, Will Shepard was incredible in this game, man. He showed a lot of skills.
Yeah.
Some that we hadn't necessarily seen, like the acceleration on those screens to turn those into big plays, and then the one-handed catch ability on that score he had in the corner of the end zone, man.
Yeah.
That's as smooth as it could look in terms of a one-handed catch on the back shoulder.
Got to give it up for that catch, but that damn pass.
Oh yeah. Where only his guy could get it.
Only
and
his guy
only
could
that
get it.
guy potentially, and maybe a few others actually make that play. It was awesome.
It's a blessing to have a few guys on the team that can make that catch.
Mm-hmm.
Scotty.
Helmet sticker?
Well, that
No,
and
if
your boy
you
Will.
could
Take
just
your
talk about the
victory
weather.
lap.
Yeah.
Whatever
Take
you
my
want to do.
victory lap, man. I chose that boy Will Shepard. First off, squad.
Let's go. Let him know.
Let's go.
But yeah, man, shout out that boy Will Shepard. He was my pick for offensive player of the game, man. Absolutely balled, man. That's probably the best touchdown catch you'll see all weekend. College or pros. 8 catches, 79 yards. RK, like you said, showed off some yak ability, some run after the catch ability. Yeah, he was dynamic today, man. Shout out to Will Shepard. And Jake, shout out to our defensive player
Let's go.
of the game as well. Our
BJ
pick,
Green.
BJ Green, man. Another.
Shout out to BJ Green for that roughing the passer too.
Why you gotta go there?
It's part of the record. As Coach Prime told him on the sideline, the pros are already watching you. They know your ability.
Yep.
You got to show them you're smart.
BJ
Don't
Green,
do that.
again, in addition to the roughing the passer penalty, 2 sacks
Absolutely.
again today. A demon
Forced
off
fumble.
the edge. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he was a mofo tonight, man.
Yeah.
Oh, bro, he was cooking the Texas Tech left tackle early in the game. He was working, and he
Hopefully
was
his-
holding on for dear life.
Hopefully his new jersey be ready next week. It's supposed to be Green-Neely. That's my son. I adopted him. I don't know if Smitty's going to have it ready.
According to the NCAA, another rule that was enforced tonight: no new jerseys mid-season.
Yeah, what the hell?
Crazy.
LeJonte can't wear number 1. That's messed
we should
up.
just take, like we were in white tops tonight. We should just take a marker and mark out the 0, and just
Yeah,
This-
whiteout.
have an off-centered one.
This has to be a new rule, because I went to the Michigan-Notre Dame game in 2013 when Devin Gardner changed his number to 98.
Well, sometimes it has to do with like 2 players being on the same unit, which like forces you to change your number. So like our guy Daniel Gerlach,
Yeah.
he changed his number in the middle of the season, but
Yeah.
it's because of some sort of special teams. There's another 22 who's going to be out
Yeah,
there.
it can't be at the same time.
Or not 22, whatever his other number used to be.
Yeah, you're spot on.
I will give my next helmet sticker to Nikai Hillgreen. This guy has hit power on 100.
Yep.
I mean, my gosh, man. Every time there's a collision with him, the opponent's always moving backwards. He had a sick interception. He was credited with half a TFL, 9 total tackles, and that pick. Him and Bentley. I give it to both of them, honestly. Bentley led the team in tackles tonight with 10.
My defensive pick.
Yep.
I mean, if we're like pulling penises out, I just
Yeah.
wanted to put mine to it.
Sure.
The linebackers just ball out on a week-to-week basis, and they've made a difference on this team.
Yeah. This was, you remember last week I talked about a matchup where a linebacker would get an interception, and this was that same kind of feel as far as schematically what they like to do when they pass. And shout out to a linebacker for getting one, man. He snagged that son of a bitch, too.
Yeah, he did. I can't wait to see that highlight. I think it's got to be awesome.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Let me see here. I'm gonna give one to the entire offensive line.
I like it. I'll
And
beer bump you.
it's
I think like 8 players played on the offensive line today.
yeah, and it's a little different than what it normally would be. Like they did a solid to okay job of protecting Shador. They didn't open a lot of holes in the run game, but boy did they block their asses off on those screens, man. Jordan Seaton had a block like 10 yards down the field on Travis Hunter's touchdown. Like I mentioned, I saw Phil Houston in a dead sprint and then just lay out to block a guy on one of Will's big plays. They just did a great job of using their athleticism in this game, and I feel like that's been a new thing that was unlocked. Against Cincinnati, we saw the tackles pulling.
Yep.
In this game, we saw the tackles getting out and making huge blocks in those tunnel screens. So just a great job by those guys, and I felt like it was a big effort game.
Yep.
You used a word that I was about to use for my helmet sticker guy. That's 2-3, Isaiah. Forget what the stats say. His effort tonight, like when he got the ball, what he tried to make happen, and it just shows for this team schematically what can happen during a game just by us making a damn effort to run. Like whether we get 12 yards on the run or 3, like making a conscientious effort to show the defense that we will run the ball changes how they have to play defense. And that guy keeps his legs moving, man. Like
Yes, he does.
he wants to get downfield.
He like embraces contact. It's awesome to watch.
Yeah.
Scotty?
Yeah, let me give a helmet sticker out. Y'all know I love y'all. Y'all my boys, y'all my dogs. But y'all tripping that 6 helmet stickers have gone out and this man's name hasn't been mentioned.
Say it.
Amari McNeil was an absolute
Balled
dog
out.
tonight. Talk about stepping up when it's your opportunity, when it's your chance.
These stats are
Defensive
crazy.
line is thin. Shane Cokes is out tonight. TC is obviously out for the season. They got Tyler Brown playing both ways just in case they need extra body on the D-line. Amari McNeil said, say less. Watch this. Bro had 9 total tackles tonight.
3rd on the team.
3 tackles for loss tonight.
Yep.
1.5 sacks tonight. He was absolutely disruptive in the pass game, in the run game. Amari McNeil gets my helmet sticker for sure. That boy balled.
And was able to speak to the media in the post-game press conference.
Absolutely. Let me just go right into that because one of the things that Amari said after the game.
Too. Switch me.
Yeah? All right, bet.
Because I'm not allowed to.
Do we have a wait? Do we have a break to hit first?
We could, if you want.
Let's hit a break. We'll switch you guys. Jake was not allowed in the press conference, so then he's not allowed on the part of the show where we talk about the press conference.
Yep. Unfortunately. Sorry, guys. Shout out to UC Health.
Holy shit, this stadium is going nuts.
I told you, man. This is a.
Got him.
Ooh, what a tackle. Oh, no
my.
way. Oh, he doesn't have the ball.
Oh my god, that place is going to come apart.
But shout out to UC Health. Big emphasis on men's health. We don't like to talk about our health. We don't like to think about our health. We don't like to deal with our health. But it's important to remember that we just have to be our best selves for our loved ones. And, just to be healthy. I mean, no one wants to go to the hospital when it's too late, right? Go take care of yourself, get your appointments done, all that good stuff. And UC Health is making it super easy to get it done with their online scheduling and other convenient features available in the UC Health app. So download that to get started. Go to UC Health's dedicated men's health page to see more of these conversations, as well as content and resources for men to take charge of their health at uchealth.org/men's health.
BYU just ran a man beater on 4th down into a very obvious zone coverage. Anyways, shout out to Toyota. This might actually come as a huge surprise to you guys, but I love my Toyota. It's just
I miss your Toyota.
Yeah, man, me too. I can't wait to see it tonight. Which, by the way, we're actually going home tonight, which was an unexpected dub.
I'm going home.
Yeah, we thought we were gonna have to stop about
Going
halfway,
home.
but as soon as I got on the bus, Kenny Highways was like, "Bro, I've got a fresh clock because I was off for 8 hours straight. Let's go back to Denver." And I was just like, "That's my favorite thing you've ever said." Anyways, I'll be seeing my Toyota in, I don't know, about 7.5 hours, and I can't wait to see it.
Give or take.
I love that car with all of my heart, and I plan on having many more Toyotas. If you want your first or your next Toyota, go visit a Front Range Toyota store at a location near you: AutoNation Toyota, Arapahoe and Centennial, Corbin Toyota in Boulder, Groove Toyota in Littleton, Mountain States Toyota in Denver, Stevenson Toyota East in Aurora, and Stevenson Toyota West in Lakewood. Toyota is a proud partner of CU Athletics and the official vehicle of DNVR. Real quick, I want to give a shout out to the Polite family, who were just unbelievably hospitable to us this weekend. Showed us Evie Mays, gave us rides around. Jacob and his brother Ty took us out last night.
Yep.
It was just awesome. And then we sat right by Jacob and his mom today at the game. So you can't thank them enough. And I've said it before, but like my favorite part of the Prime era has been all the cool people it's brought into our lives. Everyone sitting on set here, but additionally, you know, we've made really, really great friends throughout this whole thing, and the police are definitely one of them.
Real quick, the chat is confused because you said I got banned, and now they think I'm actually banned from the
he's
press
cooked.
conferences.
It's over with for bro.
Speak on it.
It took the press conference just on the other end of the stadium from the press box, and we had to literally like walk outside the stadium and walk back in on another side to get to where we had to go. So we were just one of the last ones there, and
Smallest press box I've ever been in at the college
press
level.
conference.
Press conference.
Sure, thank you. Yes,
What,
right.
like,
Press conference.
compare it
Thank
to
you.
where we are right now.
Oh, it's probably
About the same size. Just this is a rectangle and that was a square.
Yeah, from like here back.
Facts.
Where I am.
That was
Yeah, it was
tight.
tiny.
Oh my
So,
God.
anyways, there was just a lot of people trying to get in, and I was where they cut off the capacity. So I was just
You
not,
weren't banned.
No,
is what
Yes,
you're
I was
saying.
not banned.
I told Jake that he
They're
needed
worried
to pull
about
the "Do you know who I am?"
For real, for real.
Oh, okay. So if it already started, that makes sense.
Like Shador said to the refs when they were like, "We need to be able to identify you," and he said, "Y'all know who I am." That's what you should have said to the security guard. Is like, "Sorry, man, we're at capacity."
It was the
You should have been
Texas
like,
Tech.
"Well, go drag someone's ass out of there, then and let me in."
It was Texas Tech's SID who locked me out.
Bro, guy doesn't know ball. That's sad to see. Anyways, we joked before the show because we wanted to get Scotty on here to talk about it. That since Jake wasn't in the press conference, he gets swapped.
Gotcha.
So, Scotty, take us inside. What we learned?
Yeah, I want to start where I was going to go before that last break. We talked to Amari McNeil after his huge game. And one of the things that stood out to me, he was kind of asked about how he stays ready for this opportunity that he took advantage of tonight. And the guy that he mentioned was Keaton Wade.
Ooh.
If you remember earlier in the season, Keaton Wade was dealing with some injuries.
Yo.
He was out of the lineup. He obviously fought his way back, had a big game before the bye. Again, had 1.5 sacks tonight. And Amari just said watching Keaton kind of battle through that injury rehab and get back quicker than he was supposed to, and also take advantage of his opportunities before the bye just really inspired Amari. And we saw the performance he put on tonight, man. It was special stuff. So I thought that was really cool. You talk about one of your favorite things about this prime era is all the cool people that is brought into your life, man. That's just another example, right? Bringing in guys who, make the guys that are already in your building just a little bit better, or just wanted a little bit more. And I think that was a perfect example. That was really cool to hear from Amari.
And shout out to D-Lou, defensive line coach, Warren Sapp, defensive analyst, because they have those guys mentally sharp and mature to be ready for your turn. That there's
100%.
only so many people on the defensive line that's going to be out there for a play or a series and maybe a game. But before this season is over, everybody's going to have an opportunity to shine.
Absolutely.
Just because attrition happens. And, you can see fall camp, people not necessarily believing it. You can see week 1 or 2, people not necessarily believing it. By the time you get to games 3 and 4, it happens enough where guys believe it.
Absolutely.
And so Amari is like, I know my time is coming.
Yeah.
Big night for just like the underrated guys.
Yeah.
Amari McNeil, underrated. Arden Walker, underrated.
Big
Arden was
season
huge.
for guys like that.
Yeah.
Honest. Isaiah Augusta.
Yep.
Yeah.
Will Shepard.
Yeah.
Cash Cleveland.
Cash
Yeah.
Cleveland.
Yeah.
Phil Houston.
Yes.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, tortillas.
Amari McNeil was up on the podium tonight with Cameron Stillman Craig, who again had a big night, the defensive leader of this team. I asked him just about the
That was a
success.
great moment, bro.
It was a pretty dope moment, man. I asked Cam about, how this defense or why this defense has been so locked down in the second half. I say, Cam, I think y'all allowing just 7.3 points per game in the second half. He said, don't say you think, bro. I saw your tweet, bro. You already did the math, my man. I said, my
awesome.
dog, I appreciate that. But that's just 7.3 points allowed in the second half of games this year by the Colorado defense.
Yeah.
That's a lockdown defense. And again,
Hey, haters!
when your offense comes out and scores 21 third quarter points, that's just a recipe for success
And
week in and week out.
That is why we are talking about all the things we're talking about tonight.
Exactly.
Controlling your own destiny in the Big 12, all of that. Like, of course you have Shador Sanders, and he makes a lot of things possible for you. But the reason why this team can reach the heights that they can reach is because of this defense, and especially this defense in the second half.
Absolutely.
100%. Obviously, you heard
Which is why I gave them my sticker first, because
Yeah.
I'm not going to say we wouldn't be shit without our defense, but we would have a lot to work to do without our defense.
Yeah.
They put us in advantageous positions quarter in and quarter out, week in and week out, where the offense gets to relax and do what they do instead of have to do it in a sense of urgency.
I mean, y'all talked about it. I mean, this game might have gone completely different if this defense isn't playing to the level it is.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure a lot of people out there early on were getting Nebraska flashbacks.
Yeah.
Right, from how that game started. Obviously, the opening kickoff return that goes past midfield. Texas Tech scores 4 plays later on their opening drive, but that Colorado defense forces back-to-back field goals. After that, they forced back-to-back 3-and-outs right after that.
Yep.
And that allowed, Shador on the offense to finally get going. So that was
when
turning
you
point of the game.
have Shador on offense, Travis Hunter on offense, and your defense can get a 3-and-out, that's a fumble recovery. That's a
Oh,
turnover. Like you stolen the possession.
100%.
Because you know what your guys, even if they don't do it, you know what they're capable of.
No doubt.
They're capable of doing it. And you just flip the math.
I got to give you guys some credit right now.
I tried to tell you, big dog.
Utah came to play.
Let's go,
tonight.
sir.
Utah came to play, but also they took my advice and they put Isaac Wilson's ass on the bench.
100%. Obviously, we also heard from Shador Sanders after the game tonight. 300-plus total yards, 4 total touchdowns. Wasn't his best game by any means. Wasn't perfect by any means, but there are about 99% of college quarterbacks out there in the world who would kill for that stat
I'm a little
line.
disappointed in Shador. I got to be honest with you, and I'm going to clip this part and send it to him. I stopped him right outside the press conference door, and I said, man, you got to do this one shirtless.
He almost did. He walked up to the door shirtless.
He had to cut up. No, I was trying to. He was putting on. I was stopping him
Oh,
like,
okay.
no.
There's probably an
don't put it
NCAA
on.
rule that he had to wear a shirt.
Like you go in there
trying to get him in
shirtless,
trouble.
Hey man, what's trouble? We won.
But one of my favorite quotes, and Jay kind of mentioned it earlier, was Shador talking about Cash, right? He says Cash handled his business. It's always fun with Cash out there. He was a little general up there. He was talking about Cash calling out fronts, being a vocal leader out there on the field, and that's what you need out of your center. But to have that in a true freshman walk-on player just speaks to Cash's mental fortitude, and obviously this recruiting staff as well for bringing in guys.
If you
like
ever
him.
need something fun to do on a Saturday night post game, you watch the pressers. It doesn't matter which channel you watch them on. You can watch them on DNVR pregame show. It doesn't matter. But you get you a nice bottle of vodka in a shot glass, and every time Coach Prime says tremendously take a shot,
Don't do that.
or every time
phenomenal.
Yeah, or every time Shador says you got to understand.
You get
Multitude.
That's true.
Yeah.
Multitude.
Yep.
Shador's go hit you. See, you got to understand. You have a great Saturday night if you do that.
Is it multitude or multiplicity? Yeah,
Multiplicity.
He's got Coach has like 5 or 6 of them that he just.
But tremendously.
Yeah.
It's coming.
The thing about what Shador's saying is, when he says you got to understand, is what he's really saying is you guys don't understand. And
Literally.
most of them don't.
Yeah.
Most of them
Pretty
don't.
much.
I love when he says it's like Jake's whatever.
By the way, low-key, super underrated part of today, as I'm seeing Utah barely clip the pylon, is the video that came out of Warren Sapp walking on the field and just kicking over all the pylons. And then a Utah reporter posted it and said like a Colorado staffer just walked on the field and knocked over the pylons or whatever.
I saw that, and I just saw how the guy was walking. I was like, that's
Sapp. That's what I said to RC. So anyway, Sapp responds to it after the game and says, "That was me marking our territory."
I'm dead. And obviously, Coach Prime was the first one to join us tonight. Go check out that presser on DNVR Sports YouTube. But, he talked about a lot of things. Penalties, obviously, he wasn't happy with. He said that's not what we coach. We got to be better. We got to be cleaner in that area. And, he really just opened with the fact that the biggest thing on the agenda tonight for this team was stopping the run, which they did particularly early on. Actually, it's on my Twitter up right now, and Cash Cleveland just liked my tweet. Shout out Cash Cleveland.
Let's go.
But Coach Prime just said the main thing was stopping the run tonight, which, again, this Colorado defense did while, the game was still in balance. I mean, Brooks did most of his damage when the game was pretty much out of hand. And giving Shador time to throw the ball. I believe he was only sacked twice, maybe 3 times, I think. So, again, this offensive line was – did its thing, man. Was it 3? It was 2 or 3.
3 sacks from Texas Tech.
Yeah,
Colorado at
just 3
6.
sacks. Yeah.
I had 3 and I had 2 of them being on him.
Yeah, I think that's right.
The second one was definitely. Well, I don't even know if it was on him because I think it was just a downfield play and nothing was open and he was just running around.
But you can't throw the ball into the stands.
Well, that is true, and we've been saying that for a year and a half now.
Yeah, but when you're Superman, you think you can make something happen, and a lot of times.
Well, how many plays has he made extending plays rolling out to the sideline?
Exactly, particularly when Travis is out there.
Yes.
So I ain't mad at him. I'm mad at some of the licks he takes and some of the other guys landing on him after the lick. I would like to get that out of it.
Another quote I love from Shador after the game, just talking about, where his mind was when they went down 13-0 after the first quarter. He goes, it was never a sweat. It was never a doubt. That's how you know we have a great team. Mm-hmm. And then he went on to say that nobody's playing tense anymore. It might have looked like that early on, but I think that was really just more circumstance.
I don't know if it looked like it.
Yeah.
We can't hear the television broadcast, and a lot of times the announcers will lead the audience into feeling something that's not really there.
Yeah.
But when I got on the bus, RK, asked me about it. He said, "What was the vibe when it was 13-0?" And I was like, "That we gonna kick their ass?" Because you could just tell. All right, we gave them 2 opportunities to get 14 up, and they didn't. We in it with 1 score, and we get the ball back at halftime.
And again, just the resilience, because that was Colorado's first touchdown allowed on the opening drive since week 2 against Nebraska.
Yep.
And again, a lot of those guys that could have seeped back into old habits and be like, "Oh, here we go again," but they refused to do so.
We often talk on this broadcast about how good this team is when we play complementary football. That when all 3 phases are clicking, that no one can run with us. I think what also has to be pointed out that this team is so good that when we have a phase of the game that's bad, such as Mate, who would think Mate would have a bad game? Like no one would lay that bet going into it. And look what the score was. Because the other units can step up when something's not there. Shador didn't have a great game. Look what the defense did. Travis drops 2 balls. Look what Isaiah does with his effort running the ball. It's like there's always another component that makes up for a lack somewhere.
I got to give a shout out to my favorite player on the team,
I'm not
LeJohntay
on
Wester.
the team.
You're not a player.
LeJohntay Wester.
I'm a player.
I was going to never mind.
Once again, ball. I got to chill, dog.
We will never chill.
LeJohntay Wester, man. Once again, ball. I think one of you guys picked him as your offensive player of the game, I believe. Shout out Jake for that pick.
Ball nowhere.
Again,
he's open on every play.
He really is, dog. He truly is.
It's
if you just sit there and just watch Colorado's offense, be like, I'm just going to watch LeJohntay Wester on this drive. You'll see him
when you told
routinely
us
getting open.
A couple weeks ago or last week how he was like 17 of 18.
Oh, I got it updated for you.
He's got an update.
I got it updated for you.
Yeah, well, before you get updated, this is when you and I had the discussion that with Cameron Silman Craig's play and LeJohntay Wester's play, they are getting into Travis and Shador category where you can't pick them. Because you know what they're going to do.
Getting there.
Yeah, you're right. I think we're there, bro.
I mean, he got the number 1, so
like you know what they're going to do.
Yeah.
It's a layup.
So again, the Colorado offense was dead through a quarter. I mean, looking for any type of answers, and of course, it's LeJohntay Wester to get him out of the rut. Gets the Buffs on the score, that 24-yard touchdown catch and run, tiptoeing along the sideline.
And almost had another one.
I thought he was going to score.
I know.
I was telling you, I was like, he's
the
gone.
burst is crazy.
But yeah, LeJohntay finished with 82 yards on 6 catches. The man now has a touchdown or at least 100 receiving yards in 7 of his last 8 games. And to the update, he's caught 24 of his last 26 targets from Shador Sanders. And also, too, LeJohntay and Travis Hunter made a bit of Colorado history tonight.
Yes, they did.
Those 2 are the first pair of Colorado football players ever with 8+ touchdown receptions in a season.
You should say that again for the people in the back.
I got you. Travis Hunter and LeJohntay Wester made some history tonight. They became the first pair of Colorado football players ever with 8+ touchdown receptions in a single season.
And they ain't done.
And they not done. Yeah, what? At least
double digits for both.
Oh, yeah.
At least 4 games left. Yeah. So, I mean, sheesh.
Crazy, man.
Ballers.
Anything else that we need to hit on?
I got to hit on how relaxed the Funky Dope producer is. I don't know if she's ever produced.
Just handling business.
Like, she's put herself in the figure 4 leg lock. Just chilling, man.
That's a triangle, right?
Yeah, like she is locked in over there. Laptop propped up.
Jake.
What's up?
Yeah, I think that's all I got.
What else we got?
Can you guys talk about his number?
Did
LeJohntay?
Yeah.
So LeJohntay can't officially change his number because of some stupid NCAA rule.
Why don't we just wait? Oh, there is no 10 on defense. Damn.
Yeah.
I was gonna say they should just put the 10 on defense and say we're putting a package for him in on offense.
There you go.
And so we need a new.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. Good effort though.
Alrighty, gents.
Receipt Street or something?
It's time to take a drive.
Let's go.
We're going to Receipt Street.
We're going down Receipt Street on your
And now that I'm back here, I can actually see what is on the screen. As
Jake
Alyssa
can see the screen. Alyssa had to get up.
Here we go. We're taking a drive. All right. Yeah. First one. I can't really see it on the screen, so just give me a second. This one is from some rando, actually, but he's a Tech fan. And this is from August 29th.
Nice.
And he quote tweeted that Nike has signed Colorado quarterback Shador Sanders to an NIL deal with the, you know what time it is, Shador throwing up the wrist, right?
Yes.
He quote tweeted and said, "This graphic will be useful after Taj scores 5 touchdowns against Colorado."
That didn't age
How many
well.
did he score?
1, I think, on that 4th down, right?
Yep.
So shout out to random
How many
Texas
did
Tech
Shador
non-ball
score?
4.
Cool.
Perfect time.
If you add those together, it makes 5.
Next one. We have got this guy. Shout out to the No Block No Rock, a Nebraska podcast, who said Nebraska's dominant win over Colorado officially put an end to the Coach Prime charade. Well, since then,
But what?
6-1 since then.
Oh,
Good job.
Yeah, bowl eligible, first winning season since
well, depends on if you count COVID. I think we made a
2020,
determination that we
2016.
don't count it. 2016. Yeah, if I forget their names. No, everyone has forgotten their names. But if they want to go see a game that ended a program, I suggest they go check out 62-36 November 2001.
There you go.
That's what happens when a game ends a program.
Next. Oh, Buddy Boy. Buddy Boy's getting the smoke. He's been getting it for a minute because he's been wrong about Colorado for like the last year.
Loud and wrong.
Our guy,
Bad
Buddy
place to
Boy,
be.
quote tweeted this tweet from Shador Sanders at Big 12 Media Day saying, "We know we're everybody's Super Bowl." Bud Elliott said Shador's 100% right. When you talk as much smack as Colorado does on their YouTube propaganda show, everyone is going to give their all against them. 5 and 7 teams don't get everyone's best shot like this normally. It really is different. Shout out to you, Bud. It
Who was
really
that?
is different.
That was Bud Elliott?
Bud Elliott.
I'm gonna go see if he tweeted anything about the game tonight.
Oh, please, dude.
Yes.
Please.
I gotta see. I gotta
Sometimes
know.
silence is the best receipt.
Didn't FSU drop another one by like 80,000 points again tonight?
Did they really, bro?
They played
Who?
FSU.
FSU.
Who'd they play?
They played Notre Dame.
Oh yeah, Notre Dame
Destroyed
put the
them.
smack on them.
Sure did.
I'm sure they did.
I think this is the last one. Last one here from
Rico. Rico knows
from
nothing.
Rico Knows.
Rico knows nothing.
He decided to quote tweet a tweet that said, "What will Colorado's record be in 2024?" And he said, "Winless in November, and no need to mention the Big 12 title game unless they bought tickets."
All right.
Outstanding.
So,
As it currently stands right now,
well, yep.
the Buffs might be in first place in the conference.
And I must say, 0 for 1. We're gonna keep coming back to this tweet because it's one game in November. He's 0 for 1. He said winless in November. So we're gonna keep coming back. This tweet could make an appearance 5 times on Receipt Street.
And here's the important part for that guy. Even if it doesn't, he was wrong.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Because he
He's
said
always
winless.
He cannot. He can only get more wrong. Literally.
That's period. It's already wrong enough. I got one that I don't have like the evidence of. But shout out to TCU last year. Shout out to who these jokers we played tonight?
Texas Tech.
Texas Tech tonight. When you start the overrated chant pregame, you're not going to have a good game.
Yeah.
Like, dude, like, I don't know who you think on this team is still overrated. So whether you're talking to Coach Prime, Shador, Travis, or the defense or the offense,
Or the
hell
number
to
next to their name.
or to Asia, who made the best damn Gatorade I've had all season, no one out there is overrated. Stop the chant.
You got to earn the right to say overrated. Some would say you should never say it because all you do is diminish your own accomplishments when you say overrated. But I'm actually pro overrated in the right, environment.
Circumstance?
Yes. I just want to say this about Receipt Street. I find it to be very poetic that the DNVR bar, our studio, that we go live from every day, is located on Colfax Avenue. Do you want to know what Colfax Avenue, what it's famous for?
Cold facts.
It is.
Receipts.
It is. It is the single longest commercial street in America.
In America?
In
Yeah.
America.
Sheesh.
Yeah.
You know what the only street that is longer than that is?
Receipt Street.
Receipt Street.
Let's go. Unfortunately, that is the end of Receipt Street.
Let me add one more. Let me add a
Like the way you said
personal.
that.
Scotty's got one.
Let me
Let's
add
go,
a personal
Scotty.
receipt. So
Wait,
one
which
of my
pocket you getting out of?
my back pocket.
Oh,
Oh,
Pause. But
whoa.
So this is a personal streak. So this is one of my good friends I went to college with, right?
Okay.
So before the season, I'd be looking out for my homies. I'm like, bro, if you want to make some bread, right?
Yeah.
Bet the over on Colorado's wins this season at 5.5, bro. That's free money. All I got to do is win 6 games, right? Bro didn't believe me. He goes, bro, I'm actually gonna take the under, bro. They're not gonna win 6 games, is what he tells me. So this is probably a weekly conversation we have. I'm like, bro, are you gonna admit you were wrong yet? He goes, bro, no, maybe when they get to 7 wins.
All right.
That's just an idiot.
So 7 wins was tonight, obviously, right? He texted me in the middle of the game. He goes, I will admit I was wrong about CU football.
Let's go.
But this is the crazy part, right? And this is how a lot of people be. He can't even really do it for real because he follows up and goes, however.
Oh, Lord.
He's an idiot.
Let me guess. Can I guess?
Sure.
I know these tropes. I didn't realize the Big 12 was such ass.
Oh, my God. He goes, however, I was also wrong about most of the teams on their schedule this year. Weak-ass schedule. Have to admit that. So
Was it a weak ass schedule when we were preseason number 11?
No.
We got a bonus one from RG2.
not.
Receipt Street just keeps rolling.
Let's go. Longest streak in America.
So, we posted the tweet of Shador's warm-up shirt, him warming up before the game today. And Mr. @GunBunny1 said, "Ha!"
Oh, Gun Bunny 1's having a bad night. I got him too.
3:33 p.m. Game kicked off at 3. He said, "Ha! So far it's a shit show. How in the heck is CU ranked? We have a blowout in progress." Yes,
yeah.
we did. Going the other way,
Sure
brother.
did.
Oh yeah, I have one very similar. What is up with these? Have people ever seen football before?
I don't think so.
They start flexing up 13-0 in the first quarter.
Yeah.
I had a guy tweet at me who said this was in the first quarter. He said, ass whooping in progress, 13-0. It was an ass whooping in progress.
It was
It just hadn't started
a
yet.
football game in progress.
And then literally CU went on to outscore Texas Tech 41-14 the rest of the game.
Yep.
Crazy.
Like, if you know ball, you know that you definitely can never start victory lapping in the middle of a game.
Right.
Especially 13 points?
Yeah.
Yeah.
With that quarterback
In
and
the
that
first
offense?
quarter.
Come
After
on,
the
man.
defense held them to
Right.
2 field goal attempts when they were driving.
They don't know ball, man.
For real. All right.
Crazy. Super chats? Anything
Super
else?
chats.
Super
You wanna-
chats
you
in the
wanna-
air. Damn, it's hot back here.
You want back on the set, or are you?
Yeah, you want to tap in, bro?
Come on back. We miss your face.
Where do I go?
The people need you, Quan.
All right.
Let's trade, actually. This will be easier.
That's the back pocket he got that receipt out of right there.
We're moving on an RV, playing musical chairs, only on DNVR.
Can you get me my sunglasses, though?
Where are they?
RG's closest. Thank you.
I was about to give you mine, bro. That's just the kind of guy I am.
Oh, you're so kind, brother. All right, Alyssa, I don't know if you want to screenshot these or how you want to do
She
this
got
here.
the headset.
Yeah, I'll do
Oh,
headset
okay, sweet.
tonight. Super chat from Original says, it was a bad game by the offense, but yet they still dominated. This team is scary if they can find a way to be complete. Don't sleep on Kansas.
Man, great point that I meant to bring up, but I hadn't brought up yet. This team still hasn't played their best football all in one game.
Yep.
And that's a beautiful thing to be able to say when you are 7-2 and either in first or second place in the conference by the end of tonight. When this team puts it all together, all four, everything, all 3 phases, all 4 quarters, they're going to put a colossal beat down on somebody.
And that will happen in the Big 12 championships. Y'all be out there
how
December
poetic
7th.
that would be.
Because that's going to be the perfect game. It's going to all come together in Dallas, Texas.
To send them to the college football playoff.
Yeah. By the way, if BYU loses this, it brings K-State kind of back into the mix.
Oh, I'd love a rematch.
Yeah.
Thank you for the super chat.
IV4 Super Chat says, Prime about to get paid, FSU coming after him.
I don't know who's coming
dreaming.
after him, but other than where he is. But I will go on record and quote Fat Joe. Yesterday's prices ain't today's prices.
Oh, speaking of,
Yes.
congratulations to Coach Prime. 100 bands for
And,
winning that game.
And many more to come.
Yeah.
Colorado coach Deion Sanders picks up a $100,000 bonus as the Buffaloes defeat Texas Tech for their 7th win of the season. Sanders now getting $100,000 for each win for the remainder of the regular season.
Let me hold something, Coach.
Sanders has collected $400,000 in bonuses so far this season. Go ball out, Coach.
Damn,
Let me hold something, Coach.
That's crazy, bro. Just knowing before the game, like, we win, 100 G's.
Yeah.
Sorry. Another super chat from Original says, this defense won the game. Offense needs to reflect on themselves. Losing Jimmy hurt, but we have ballers at wide receiver that stretch the field.
Yeah. I will say this about the Jimmy hurt, whether it was Tortilla or whatever. Coach Prime touched on it. Y'all said Shador touched on it. There were a lot of things that were going to feature Jimmy Horn tonight that the offense and Pat Shermer had to pivot from. And so shout out to being able to pivot and still do the damn thing.
I mean, that's super difficult when
It is very
a
difficult.
core player of your game plan goes out in the first quarter
Yeah.
and you're down 13 points
Yep.
and you got to figure it out on the fly.
Yep.
Speaking of figuring it out on the fly, I think this team does that as well as anyone in the country. Even in, like, once Shador gets to the line,
Yeah.
sometimes he'll just run over to a receiver and, like, invent a new play
This is
at
what
the line of scrimmage.
that's talent.
Yes.
That's what talent
That's
does for a
knowing
football
ball,
team.
man.
Thank you for the super chat, though.
Another one from Original says, crazy part is 2 struggled in this game, but it's still a blowout.
Yep. Close to a blowout.
2 struggled in this game, yeah, for sure.
He
But-
struggled on his own standards.
His final stat line was 30 of 43 for 291 yards, 3 touchdowns, which is 70% completion, a 149.6 QB rating. What's up? And he also ran for 16 yards on 9 attempts and 1 touchdown.
Yeah, and actually, I wouldn't even say he struggled. By his own standards, I would say that he wasn't as sharp as he would expect to be.
I think your Joker analogy is the best one, so
Yep.
just stick with that one because it's perfect.
Thank you for the super chat.
Super chat from MTN Aesthetic says, amateurs, we actually got entire sections ejected in Boulder during the aughts.
Yeah. There was an early 2000s CU Nebraska game in which the entire student section was kicked out of the game.
Oh, gosh.
And then they rioted outside. I was having flashbacks to that. There was a moment in there where, like, things got real intense. RG, maybe you were there for this one, but I was in Oakland the day that Aqib Talib and Michael Crabtree, like...
Which time?
No, this was the Oakland one where, like, it was a full-on brawl.
Yeah, yeah.
That broke out, and, like, then the fans, you know, then everyone kind of gets their testosterone, like,
Right.
all riled up, and there's, like, an eerie feeling that happens in the stadium. I kind of got that for a minute tonight when everything was getting thrown on the field, and they were talking about ejecting the student section. I'm like, this is, like, really bordering on like getting out of control.
This is where the refs have to come in. You've got to make a call at some point. You've got to send a warning to the sideline/student section, like,
Immediately.
yeah, like, not into the third quarter.
Yeah.
You got to do this after the second kickoff where they're still throwing shit on the field and be like, nah.
When they're like, oh, this is the Tortilla school. Like, they just throw stuff
Stupid.
on the field. Like, we got to figure that out.
Shout out to Aqib Talib, though. One of my
Yeah.
favorite players of all time.
Dog. And one of the first NFL greats to come out and say that he thinks that Travis will play both ways. And he also said he's going to change the game based on the contract that he gets.
Facts. All facts. He's a sorry player. Come in the game. He ain't catch no passes.
Come in the game, chop guys from the back.
And when I see him in Atlanta, I'm going to beat his ass.
Hey, Travis was targeted 0 times tonight, too. I don't know if that was mentioned officially. The one time he was targeted, he made a pick.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you're right. On defense, I was confused for a
I'm
second.
not sure if you
Yeah.
I'm not sure if you guys could hear Scott, but he said 0 targets defensively for Travis Hunter, and I did not throw that. By the way, Travis really tried to bait Baron Morton into throwing his way once, and it would have been a pick 6 if he got him, and Baron, like, thought about it and then realized, like, I think they told me don't ever throw that way, so I'm just going to listen to my coaches.
Yeah. Thank you for the super chat.
Super chat from S. Williams II says, the defense always holds it down when the offense starts slow. When Tech kicked 2 field goals, I knew that the offense would score. Never doubted it. Buff up.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you for the
Shout
super
out
chat.
S2.
Super chat from East Coast Kev says, I'm proud of the Buffs. Shador made a few costly mistakes, but he'll figure it out. Our defense is unmatched. Be safe on the ride back.
Who sent that? East Coast Kev?
East Coast, yeah.
Shout out to you, East Coast Kev. Thank you, man.
East Coast Kev, it's 1 a.m. Appreciate you.
Yeah, you're a real one.
Another super chat from Chuck Jackson says, will Jimmy be good for next week? Good win today. Go Buffs. Hashtag Big 12 champs loading.
Yeah, he
Way
looked
too
like
early
it.
to
There was a time where he was shoeless on one foot, but later in the game got the shoe back on and even had it taped like he was going to go back in.
He was really testing that ankle on the sideline. I was watching him for a bit.
Super chat from Patrick Williams says, this was a gritty and nasty game. There are types of games that build character. This game shows our determination and our will to win.
Love it.
Straight up. Thank you for the super chat.
MX Rare with the super chat says, still on my Trav to Dallas campaign.
Okay.
Does he mean New York?
No, he means Dallas, and I'm pulling for that as well.
What is that? Oh, to...
Yes.
For
Okay.
For
I
the
see, I
Cowboys.
see, I see.
Super chat from DJ Wayne says, I would pay good money just to see Sean Keeler from the Denver Post and his reaction to
Who?
this season. I know he mad, LMAO.
Who?
Did y'all hear what I said when I opened the press conference door?
No.
Don't worry about it.
Okay.
You were
Super
standing
chat.
right there. You didn't hear me?
I'm thinking.
No, don't worry about it. I'll do it again next week
All right.
with my nuts out.
Super chat from John H2O. Just a super chat. Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
very
Oh,
much.
great. Awesome.
Patrick Williams. How soon will Cash get a scholarship?
Yeah, if he ends up starting the rest of this season,
Yeah, like next season slash.
it'll be there. Yeah.
Because this semester is winding down cost-wise.
Right.
One from Don Peasy here. ATP, I want BYU and CU to win out. So the quality of the opponent in a championship game looks good. To the playoff committee, love this
Have
team.
nothing to do with it.
Sure.
Yeah.
Doesn't really matter, but sure.
Yeah, I just win.
Yeah.
Just win.
Super chat from Lucas Rich says, RK, what do we got to do to fund a Coach Prime drinking game?
To fund?
Coach
Yep.
Prime would not look upon that profound.
No, it has nothing to do with him. Do it on your own. Just look for the words.
Turn on the press
tremendously.
Sorry.
Simulcast the press conference onto the stream right now and go grab me that bottle of Malort. Let's play.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, it's hot back here. I'm out.
It is really hot.
$1.99
It is hot
super
as hell.
chat from M8 Enterprise. Thank you. Mountain
you.
Aesthetics with another super chat says, quick XOQ, switch to zone planned or adaptation.
Switch to zone, in my opinion, was a direct response to the fact that the referees decided they weren't calling pick plays at all tonight, and so they're like, okay, well, if they're gonna just let them pick man coverage off all night, we can't run man coverage anymore.
Yeah. And also, the refs have absolutely got to call it because this is a team that is known to do that. And by the flip side of that coin, we worked on that this week, and so we have to be more disciplined and not get baited into going underneath and running into it.
Yeah, that's tough though, man.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah,
if they're not
football
gonna
is
call it,
tough.
it's the most unguardable play in football.
I mean, yeah, you're literally blocking downfield on a pass play.
So let me give you an example of what I'm saying. The touchdown last week that Shiloh got picked.
Yep.
He had space to go around that. He chose the wrong path.
Right, he went under
And
it.
yeah, and like that was worked on in practice. It's just when it happened in a situation, he went the wrong way and got rubbed.
Yep.
They said rubbed.
Pause.
It was a pick.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whoa. Scott says whoa, so I'm adapting whoa.
Thank you for the super chat.
It equals pause though.
Heard.
He pulls receipts out of his back pocket.
He does.
Whoa.
Super chat from Big TZ with the dot
Big
dot
TZ
dot
in the house.
ellipses.
Dot dot dot.
Dot, dot, dot. Let him know.
Dot.
Every
dot.
time I'm in the streets, I hear dot 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 dot.
Super chat, a $50 super chat from Laura says, when are we going to dinner to celebrate this beautiful season? DNVR, Unk fam, let's celebrate the moment.
Let's do it.
I'm down.
Go. I heard we're going to Shador's spot.
Yep.
Not like his house, but his favorite restaurant.
We'll talk, Laura. We'll make it happen.
Super chat from Sandra says, Utah looks scary, and congrats, you guys, no ball.
Thank you.
Thank you. That's the greatest compliment I think I've gotten
Yeah.
this weekend.
So this is actually something that I did want to talk about.
Speak on it.
Kansas no longer looks like the Kansas that started this season looking terrible. And Utah, now that they figured out that Isaac Wilson is terrible, looks pretty good tonight. Now, on Utah's case, this is a very charged up game for them. They're at home against their most hated rival.
Yep.
It's a night game.
Yep.
That's a little different. But Kansas and Jalen Daniels has kind of found his stride, found his swagger a little bit. That game, probably still not as hard as it seemed like it was going to be before the season, but harder than it seemed like it was going to be 5 weeks ago.
Jalen Daniels tonight only completed 50% of his passes, 12-24, but threw for 295 and 2 tuds, and also had 68 rushing yards and a touchdown on the ground.
Yeah, he's just throwing bombs, I guess.
Yeah.
Look how they even start the coverage at 17-13.
Yep.
Yeah.
They didn't even deal with the first
They're
quarter.
like, that didn't count. Oh, God, Will. They got the highlights up.
We're reacting to the Colorado highlights. Oh, here's Trav.
Dude, this is one of the... That looks so easy.
Later, he's so
The
fast, bro.
acceleration- His acceleration is absurd.
It's crazy. What happens here?
This is
Arden.
Shiloh.
That was clean, by the way.
Yeah.
It was so clean that the ball, it was one of those where the ball is out and the quarterback's arm is still going forward, and he pushes the ball forward. So that's why Texas Tech is like, oh, it's incomplete. Like, the receiver's standing right there, and he's like not even reacting to it until Shiloh picks it up and is already in the
And
end zone.
shout out to Shiloh, like literally every day of practice, every play that something like that happens, he does that.
I love that. And I was just going to say, if I ever become a football coach, which I would love to be a youth football coach sometime soon, my team will get on the ball every single time.
I don't care if it's incomplete. If there's a ball on the ground, you pick it up.
Pick up the ball. We always pick up the ball. That one, and then Coach Prime is this way too. But if any player ever drops the ball before the goal line on a walk-in touchdown, you're never on the field ever again.
Yep.
You're done.
Yep. Completely agreed. Thank you for the super chat.
John H2O with another super chat says, what was Coach Prime getting into it with the referee that he brought up at the press conference?
Referee said something to him that he didn't like.
Take kindly to. That's crazy. I have no idea what it could have been, but a referee should never be doing something like that.
The referee should literally have no opinions on the game other than live play.
Yes.
And use your flag if you have an opinion.
Yes. Yes.
Thank you for the super chat.
Another super chat from Original
Well, you wanted a
says,
mic?
Not only that,
RG chiming in here.
One of the Texas Tech ball boys almost got into it with Shador. Shador for some reason. I don't know what. All I remember was hearing, like, it was after Shiloh's touchdown. They were all walking back to the sideline, and then Junior was yelling at the guy. He was like, why'd you have to fucking go and do that? Something like that, where he was just like, what do you... Yeah, no, it should be, if he was recording, he was like just straight up yelling at the guy. And it was definitely mentioned, so yeah.
That is wild, man. I will say, I enjoyed Lubbock. We had some great food. We hung out with some cool people. I don't necessarily think anyone could disagree with the fact that Texas Tech fans did not carry themselves well tonight.
Not in the game.
No, and I mean, like, we had a section. I'm sure you guys could hear us belting out the fight song.
Oh, yeah. You guys are loud.
Yeah, we were loud, and then we were chanting defense before a 4th and 1, and they were, like, so mad about that. But, like, the entire section in front of us is turning around, flipping us off for chanting defense.
Crazy.
Like, it wasn't even like we were hating on them. We were just trying to get our team fired up. Yeah.
Thank you for the super chat.
sorry. Super chat from Original says, good to see Sam come back. Front 7 of D is scary.
Yes, they are.
Amen.
Thank you, Original.
DeFoyo Boutique. There was a stat on the TV that Coach Prime is the first CU coach to get 10-plus wins in the first 2 seasons since Gary Barnett.
True.
Let's go.
By the way, I believe Coach Prime now officially has a winning record as the head coach of Colorado.
Two
believe it would
up
be-
now. I think it was 2 weeks ago.
He
He
is
was
11 and 10.
11 and 10 through how many games?
They're 21 games.
21.
10. 21. Would you do something for me?
Pretty
Thank you
cool,
for the super
man.
chat.
Pretty crazy to go from 4 and 8 2/3
Man, I just want
of
some of that honey. Hey, Coach. Holla at your boy, man.
Super chat from Chuck Jackson says, shout out, y'all. Can't wait to vibe with y'all at the KU game at my Chiefs stadiums. Go Buffs. Go Chiefs. # bring me some merch to
Don't ever read
tailgate.
that again. Don't ever read that again, Alyssa.
Look, thank you for the super chat, but don't ever bring that energy into this show, please.
By the way,
Chiefs are losing tomorrow, by the way.
hell yeah. Yeah, it felt nice to see a team wearing the Patrick Mahomes uniforms take an L. Hopefully, there's another L coming down tomorrow.
Silver on gray.
Yeah, I didn't like them. There was some people on this bus that did like them. I personally did. RC liked it too. Scotty and RC liked them.
I love the
didn't like
helmets.
I thought they were very mid at best.
them. There you go. Very mid at best is a good way of
Thank you
describing
for
it.
the super chat, though.
Lambo Drew TMT says, shout out to the best after win party live podcast. Unk, RK, Jake, and Scotty and the crew keep rocking out.
Thank you, thank you.
Oh,
And especially it's hot back here, so we
It is.
appreciate that.
go ahead.
Another super chat from Original. Can we talk about how the defense's headhunting offense had so many times to score, but they struggled? I hope they fix it before next week.
Yeah,
What was the score?
41-27.
Let's go Buffs.
Let's go Buffs.
go Buffs.
Thank you for the super chat.
It was a weird game offensively.
It really was.
Yeah, I'm not going to sit here and say something was a struggle, though.
Last super chat here from Lauren Christie says, okay, my friends, 7 days until the Utah tailgate, bringing the Buffalo Trace from our hometown for my DNVR gang. We can't wait to meet you all in
You're gonna
person.
be-
Great W
We're
tonight.
going to be drinking Buffalo Trace at 8 in the morning.
You better believe it.
Thank you.
Football games are like airports.
There's no
Time
clock.
doesn't matter. You
Not
can
at
drink.
all.
Fair enough, yeah.
Last minute super chat here from Ronski Live says, BYU getting spanked. Love it. # go Buffs.
Go Buffs.
I wouldn't say spanked quite yet, but things are looking good. I'm excited to. Well, does anyone know? Actually, should I do it
officially sweating.
live to try to figure out who would be in first place off tiebreakers?
Yeah, go for it, man.
All right, I will do this live.
As it stands right now, Utah is winning 21-10. The third quarter literally just started, so a lot of football left to be played. I'm sure a lot of y'all will be watching as well as us.
Okay.
Good job, Jake.
I need a little bit of help. Can someone pull up the scores from today?
Sure.
Who won Arizona State UCF?
Ooh, good question. I didn't see the end of that game. Final score of that game was Arizona State 35, UCF 31.
Okay, who won Cincinnati, West Virginia?
West Virginia won 31-24.
Good for them. We had Kansas beat Iowa State.
45-36.
TCU beat Oklahoma State.
38-13.
Colorado beat Texas Tech.
41-27.
And in the event that BYU loses this football game,
Just put in the current score, 21-10.
it would be that doesn't matter. It would be BYU would have the tiebreaker and be in first place based on winning percentage against number 4 teams all played one time.
That's Kansas
which
State.
is Kansas State.
God damn it.
It doesn't really matter though.
I know, but it still stings.
Anyways, that could change though if West Virginia. Oh God, I don't want to get into that, but it could get messy if Kansas State were to drop another game, because now you have West Virginia at 6-3, and Baylor at 5-4, but West Virginia is tied with Kansas State.
All right. That's it, Alyssa?
Oh wait, never mind. I messed that up.
We'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out.
We'll do it the sleeper show.
But I do believe that is right. I do believe that is right. That if that happened at the end of this game, because Kansas State is still in 4th.
Just think what we'll know in the morning on the sleeper show.
It's true. It is
We'll have
true.
all the information we need
Yes.
for our case breakdown.
That is true.
Yeah, Sleeper Sunday at tomorrow.
Yeah. TBD.
TBD. We will have a show for you guys tomorrow, though.
Absolutely.
We will be taking Monday off, though, and then we start up Utah week on Tuesday.
Utah week on Tuesday. Scouting report Tuesday. Going to practice.
This was fun, man. What a time to be alive. 4 straight road victories for the Colorado Buffaloes.
First time since '96, I believe.
First time since 1996. I was just a wee lad. And
I was 3 years old.
it is just unbelievable to watch the way this team performs on the road. It's a credit to everyone. This coaching staff, the way they prepare them. This team, the way that they lock in for these contests. It's pretty special to watch what they're doing right now. So just keep it rolling. Just win. Just win, and all of your dreams can come
Is
true.
that an Al Davis quote?
Nope.
No,
it
it's
was
not.
not.
You didn't put the comma baby on it.
Exactly.
Exactly.
For a reason.
I'll say it.
No,
All right. No, don't say
we
that
can't
shit.
have Chiefs shit and Raiders shit in the same show. It's too much for me.
Yeah, bro, lock in. We have a Broncos
win.
game against the Chiefs tomorrow.
Just win. ...
All right. I love you guys. I love chat. I love this team.
Yeah, I got to tell you, Jake. I'll tell you off there. No, I'll
All
tell
right.
you right now.
All
When
right.
you say you love me
Yeah.
and then say you love the chat, and then I know you really don't love the chat, I can question if you
Whoa,
love me
whoa,
or
whoa,
not.
whoa, 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 whoa.
No, you fight the chat in your sleep, man. You toss and turn at night with the chat.
It's like a sibling.
Yeah.
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 You love your siblings.
Yeah.
Of course.
Just don't like them. You want to punch them in the arm.
Nah, we
And
love.
then when they start crying, say, don't tell mama. Tell her you fail.
I can say in the most genuine words that I love the chat. And
You do, because you're genuine. Jake goes Hulk hands.
Why do you have to put me on blast like that, bro?
Because I love you, brother.
I love the chat.
This is how we heal and grow.
Anyways,
Shout out to everyone that came out and saw us in tech today. My guy EJ, the Pleats.
EJ,
Everyone who just came out to the meetup and everything.
everyone to meet up.
oh, also
Yeah, let them know.
the guy,
Oh, bling bling.
the person
Yeah.
who gave me this iced out Buffs chain said they didn't want any credit, so I won't get specific about it. But shout out to Chris. He said he saw me rocking like game day beads. He was like, "Bro,
You got to step up.
I gotta step your game up, bro.
He
You
did
gotta
that.
have better than beads."
Now you're bling blinging.
Now I'm iced out, bro, and I got a lot of compliments.
I
on
think
this
the
today.
challenge now is for somebody else to show you more love with a bigger one.
Let's go. Give me that Cuban link.
Wait,
Let's do it.
how about we get the whole squad with them first?
Yeah, there you go.
I believe in y'all. Let's do it.
All right.
Ice us out, baby.
All right.
For Scotty and
There's Scotty. Deep pockets.
FDP, RG,
FDP,
RC,
RC.
you guys can say bye.
Kenny Highways.
Shout out Kenny Highways, by the way. What
Shout
a
out
legend.
Kenny Highways.
Absolute legend.
He's locked in.
Buff
He is
Nation,
locked in.
you're all legends. We love you. We will be back tomorrow at some point.
Sko Buffs.
Let's go Buffs.
And shout out to Breck.
They told me about
We all silly like the mayor.